Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of H2O Waste Solutions. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of the webinar that was more focused towards research and academia and unpacking the very alarming statistic of in 2050 looking at our oceans and seeing more plastic than fish. Today it's going to be a little more energetic because we have an entirely youth panel and we have young innovators who are working to combat plastic pollution. Recently in Sri Lanka at Please Hack, which is a global institution and a hackathon that is done with um, communities and teams in the global south, in the South Asian regions, where young innovators come up on the global stage to pitch their ideas for combating plastic pollution. So, as exciting as that sounds, so just to have an understanding of what happened at Please Hack this year, we're happy to have the winners of the round, and we're also happy to have our H2O team today to share their experience with us. So, we're going to have a lot of exciting activities around that. So, let's start with firstly from a mentor at Please Hack and how she's been interacting with these innovators and what sort of mentorship happens around that. So, with myself, I have Vishal. Vishal, if you want to give a brief introduction to Miss Tidney and what we're going to be focusing on the first module when it comes to extending mentorship to these young innovators for combating this big issue of plastic pollution.
Hello everyone, I'm Mishal from the H2O team, and today with us we have Ms. Thalini Rajapaksha, who is a sustainability and waste management expert, and she was also a mentor to the Please hackers who participated in this initiative. She will brief us a little bit on the current plastic pollution crisis, and she will also share her experience in the Please hackathon and what does she think is important for innovators and how can they hack their way through the plastic pollution crisis. Over to you, Ms. Tarini.
Hi, nice to see you all in this webinar program. So we have a fruitful journey in Please Hack program, as you remember. So there are so many people and some were filtered, but most of the proposals are really good at that. So I would like to start with a small presentation. May I share the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it visible? Okay. Yeah. So I would like to start this with waste is not just a byproduct, it's a mirror of our systems, our economy, our consumption patterns, and our choices. So it's we can avoid something, but we can't eliminate everything. So there should be waste, but we have to treat them. So this is the today's waste thing. So world is flooded with plastics according to Statistica website and almost most of the statistics in the world. So uh, the single-use plastics dominate, and the plastic production increases time to time in different sectors: packaging, consumer, vehicles, textiles, everywhere it's plastic. So the problem is open dumping and toxic emissions, and it's this innovation will be a must because the traditional recycling, the traditional methods will not work. So we have to tackle with innovations to beat this reduce this plastic pollution. This is also about the global plastic production and accumulation as well as the future trends. So when the even the single-use plastics dominate, but few percent is recycled. But then innovation is not optional. That's why Please Hack program is also focus on innovations. According to Albert Einstein, in one time, he said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Then we have to seek for new solutions. Uh, this is a brief introduction to the types of innovations in plastic solutions. The material innovations, yes, we can innovate material just as bioplastics developing from different type of algae, plants. So it reduces the fossil fuel dependency, and we can increase the recycling by process innovation, the chemical recycling, pyrolysis, gasification, convert waste into resources, and also design innovations. We can innovate products with a design which will be more user friendly in recycling. As well as we can think about the business models, the refuel stations, product as services. So it promotes reuse and circularity. In the Please Hope Hack program, majority of the things I met was the business models, the refuel stations, different collection systems, just like mm, yeah, in the I think Tayaba did on this H2O, the moisture caption, as well as some sanitary napkins from old clothes, old garments, just like things. These are some of the proposals, and there are many things based on IT, just like waste capturing on different perspectives, just like some are the recycling friendly, some are collections. The Maldivian thing that they want to place also, they have developed a platform to report where plastics are collected. Collected, not only collected, if they just like capturing hotspots, most polluted places. So people can report. This is the with an image or something, with a picture, location, those things they can report to somewhere. Then the people who are willing to do shramadana, just like voluntary campaigns, or who collectors focus on those hotspots, and collect it and clean those places. These are most innovative things with the IT we have to evolve, as I believe, because now we are in the era of IT. So the, yeah, we have to evolve things with data, because data is the must in all the innovations, and so we have to design systems based on data. It means how much we produced, how much we reduced, and what is the balance. We have to focus on our innovation on the, and for an example, if we are designing a machinery or some kind of a factory or something, we have to think about the capacity which we are going to cater. So data is a must in all the innovations. In the next slide, I would like to say that why we need to scale solutions. So we need to do innovations. There should be support on research and development, and from the country perspectives, the policies, just like bans and education and behavioral change, the collaboration across sectors. It means we have to not only waste, the plastic is a waste, yeah, but it is generated from different sectors, even the tourism, health, maybe transport, and everywhere it generates. So they all they all need to collaborate in this to reduction efforts. Reduction is the best way, but we can't reduce in 100% in the medical accessories and many things. Plastic will be a must, and in some certain food packages as well. So first of all, we need to think about the clear raw data about how much we consume, how much comes to the country, just like things. In those kind of cases, we need to do some kind of time. Yes, these kind of tools can be used. Sorry, to the scientific tools, just like material flow analysis, waste audits, because awareness will not only make sense. Awareness good, yeah, it's for the first stage, but we need to take actions. Then we need infrastructure and identify as well as an incentives. So I would like to take a case study in Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka, with support of UNEP and we have developed the material flow diagram, the plastic material flow for the Sri Lanka 2021. So we have captured this is done using a UNEP toolkit. So generation was captured, the overall collection, formal, informal, all the ways the collection was captured. These are most of the things are through calculation. The imports, the plastic imports, plastic exports, recycling, and the mismanaged plastic waste is also captured. I think you can see the numbers in the yellow color. This for the 2021. So from these kind of things, we can identify gaps easily. For all the innovations, this would be a must. Mm, then we have to know how much there is an environment. In Sri Lanka also, we have to think that the mismanaged plastic, this is the direct leakage to the environment. So we have to develop innovations to reduce this number. And we can monitor the how innovations affect this reduction. When time to time we can uh, draw this diagram for 2021, 2022, 23, 24, like that, and we can see how these innovations affect, just like it's effective monitoring. So that's what required for all the countries, especially for the Pakistan, Sri Lanka, India, in the South Asian region. We have poor data tracking, and as well as too much of open dumping, uh, and leakage to mismanagement is little bit high, as our governments are unable to offer required amount for the solid waste, proper solid waste management. We have less infrastructure. Then innovations, we have to focus on that. Uh, and also, I would like to show you one item on this. Yeah, these are the things we have done. And this is the National Plastic Inventory. This is developed for the Sri Lanka, and as well as National Action Plan to the Plastic Waste Management. Both these things are accepted by the Ministry of Environment Sri Lanka. And as well as we are developing a database for the plastic waste management in Sri Lanka. It means there is a that will be launched within 2-3 months. So all the local governments going to add data on their plastic waste collections, management, recycling efforts to the central database. Even the recyclers and the customs, it means import export data, is also added to that website. So in that, we process data and provide graphical outputs for easy capturing. So that's what we do recently in Sri Lanka, in the central government level, to capture this, sorry, cope up with this plastic pollution, because data is a must when we want to act. Even in the innovations, so in the discussion, we will discuss the most innovative proposals. I think Tayaba also present a interesting proposal. There are many Pakistan organizations and individuals also present different organization, different proposals on this. So this up to now that I have described about innovations. Mm, shall we start the discussion with the next point? Oh,
Yeah, sure. I think, thank you so much, Ms. Lini, for sharing this. I think it's very important to stir the conversation to first understand what is happening at the research level when we're building these models that are to be implemented at large scale as well. And I think it's also very encouraging to see how very small solutions, as you also mentioned, to things that Taiba has pitched, we look at it from a very grassroots level. What smaller innovations could later be transformative for the entire ecosystem? And I think to all the young participants and change makers sitting here, this would something be very resonating because all of our ideas do start with small steps. So I think now Vishal will be introducing to all of the winners and young change innovators that we have over here. And we're going to be having a rapid fire with all of you. So Vishal would be throwing the first question, and then we'll just be taking your names. You need to give the first thought that came to your mind, any experience that you want to share with that, and then we'll be building on it as a conversation. So yes, Michelle, over to you, and you can steer the conversation now.
Okay. So let me introduce all our panelists today. First of all, we have Chatura Madhusanka, who is the first place regional winner of the Please Hack. We also have the national winner from Pakistan, Tausif Nawab. And then we have members of the H2O team that represented Tayaba's innovation in the Please Hack that also made it to top 23. So my first question to all of you is, why do you think Please Hack and other such innovations are important?
Right, and
We
we're
can
going
start
to
with
be, yeah, we'll take out your names, and you guys
Sure.
have to give the first thought that comes to your mind. So it has to be very quick. So I think the first one we can start with you, Mr. Tosif. If you want to tell why please hack. What's the first thought?
Hello and good afternoon. First of all, to thanks all of you for giving me the chance, the opportunity that I present with you guys. Uh, just you can ask about the question. So I think the police like and other such kind of activities is beneficial for us, for our local community. Just I belong to Pakistan, the rural area Malakand. We have just like the plastic and a lot of the waste problem is a big issues. So such kind of the our platform that give the opportunity that we have this we have the such kind of the innovative idea to transparent to the real world problems, the real world solutions. So I think it's one of the good opportunities for us, just like the pre-sec and many more.
Great. I think yes, these platforms are very important for every young change maker who is coming up with an idea to later scale it and to turn their passion into action. All right, Mr. Chitura, if you want to tell why did you tap please hack? Why is it important to you?
Good afternoon, everyone. I think now you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. The winning proposal was my PhD research. Uh, Actually, I started this research in 2022. Then I did my research on the developing of mycelium-based composite, and we got best result for several combinations. Based on that material combination, finally we developed a successful prototype for as a sustainable alternative to styrofoam boxes, because there is a huge styrofoam waste in the world, including South Asian region, and especially during this peace hackathon, we targeted to establish a pilot plant to produce our material. Uh, as the regional winner and the national winner, we got chance to receive the cash prize. And these days, we are working on that pilot plant. And nowadays, we are establishing our laboratory condition. And in near future, we hope we can introduce our minimum viable product to our market. It will be a good alternative to styrofoam packaging, and I hopefully we can reduce the styrofoam waste, at least in the South Asian region. And especially, I would like to thank you all to for organizing this kind of webinar, and this will be very helpful thing to our society. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that gives a very unique insight to how, when you're in academics and you're making your projects and you don't know one day your project would actually make it to the global stage to be fighting for one of the major problems that the planet is facing. And I think that's wonderful work that you're doing. I think coming to Yumna and Sabur are very H2O team that had also had the privilege of making it to the global stage and pitching one of our projects. So, Sabur, if I were to ask you, how was your experience and why did you go to Please Hack? Why do you think it's important?
So thank you so much, Soha. Please hack in all these hackathons are really important for especially for the youth-led innovations, because it actually empowers youth. It actually gives them the chance to show what kind of change, what kind of innovation they can bring. Because normally in the South Asia, or especially the SAARC region, the youth don't get the chance most of the times to uh, you know get or take our products or innovation to the global stage. So
Yes.
in a way, hackathons like this are really important to give a platform for the youth.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I think giving accessibility to youth to such platforms is the need of the hour, definitely. Yumna, if you also want to share why do you think Please Hack is important? How was your experience? Very briefly, what comes to first thing to your mind? Why Please Hack?
Thank you so much. Um, Platforms like Please Hack gives us youth the transition we need to accelerate our solutions from awareness to actually uh,
Yeah.
action phase, and
Yes.
that's how it facilitated us to scale it up, and also the cross border collaboration. We got to
Yes.
network with so many mentors and fellow innovators that actually motivated us to do better.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. I think that's also I think that's the spirit of such platforms, that anything that you have an idea, how do you translate it into action? How do you bring it to greater visibility and recognition? So I think that has worked for everyone, even who made it through or who did not, to actually put their ideas to test while getting a lot of mentorship as well. All right, I think Michelle will be taking the second question, and just remember, it's a rapid fire, so be
Rapid
quick.
fire.
The top of your thoughts,
First
and
question.
everyone can keep it crisp. Yes, Michelle, over to you.
So the second one, you can maybe explain a little because we want to know what was actually your innovation since we have winners with us. So why don't you quickly, very crisply share what was your innovation and like why do you think it won? Mr. Chatura, why don't you start?
If you can give me a minute, I can share my screen.
Yeah, sure. I think you did explain you're working on the styrofoam wastage, so we would love to also visually see how your solution looks like.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. This is our winning presentation. Here we explain why we develop our material. I no need to explain the dark side of the styrofoam, you all, because uh, we use the styrofoam for several applications, especially for fish storage. After that, we dispose them into environment, making huge marine pollution, and it is a threat to aquatic life. As a solution to this problem, we develop our microbox. It's fully biodegradable material. We can replace the styrofoam box using our microbox. In the microbox, we use the mycelium technology. Actually, mycelium technology is a emerging technology. You all know about the mushrooms. These mushrooms have mycelium, we call it root-like structure of the mushroom. This mushroom can bind organic material. Using that ability, we develop the microbox. In the outer layer made with this mycelium technology, and inner side there is a aluminium foil attached to a thin cardboard layer. When the outer box damaged, we can dispose them into environment. It will be composted within 45 days. Fortunately, we can reuse the inner aluminium foil coated layer again. Not only for the styrofoam boxes, we can use this for any kind of packaging, especially for single-use packaging. Uh, I think you have an idea about our innovation now.
Yes, okay. Thank you for sharing that. That was so interesting, and I think that's such a great solution and makes sense why you won. Mr. Tausif, would you like to share your innovation?
Sure. Before the innovation and my product, I just tell about the problem that we have and how we will tackle them into the solutions. So in our Pakistan, we have every year we generate more than 3 million of plastics, and only 3% of plastic has been recycled. And other than that, in our Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the northern area, we have rich marble factories, which has more than 7,000 marble factories, and they generate 3,000 tons of marble waste annually, and then directly goes to the river and drains. They affect our agriculture land, aquatic life as well as. So these are the two big issues that we will identify, and then we want to how we are taking such of the two kind of the issues and the opportunities for change. So we make such kind of the innovation. We want to think regarding such kind of the issue, and we make such kind of the constructive product like tough tile and crub stones, which were using in the home as well as the construction material also, and the wood bar, which is nowadays in Pakistan and everywhere we have a construction boost up everywhere. A lot of the homes, each and everywhere we build. So we want to such kind of the marble waste as well as the plastic waste into the production of tough tile and crop stone. So it's our envision. We just only one have only one product right now, but we have a lot of the idea regarding we are tackling such kind of the problems to problem plastic as well as marble waste, and we have many product right now and we are working on them.
Wow, that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Yumna and Sabur, one of you can answer the question because you represented the same innovation.
So our innovation is H2O Pads. So it's basically a plastic-free, biodegradable, and reusable menstrual pad. H2O Pads, basically, it was designed, we designed it to tackle period poverty, and secondly, to reduce plastic pollution in Pakistan. So far, we have already, I'm sorry, we have donated around 9,000 plus H2O pads all over Pakistan, especially in the flood affected areas. And we actually, aim to reduce the 150,000 tons of plastic wastage produced from the plastic made menstrual pads in Pakistan. And it actually, block the rivers and seas, and the, it's also harm the health of the people who are using that water, because menstrual waste is really harmful for the health. So yeah, that was our innovation.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. And also, since as a part of the H2O team, I'm also very proud of this innovation. And what is, I think, the most interesting fact is that it replaces around 4,000 single-use pads. So all these innovations are so amazing, and thank you for sharing them. The next question. So sustainability for us, and the name of this webinar was also Help to Zero Waste Solutions. To us, sustainability means that when we design a solution, it should not contribute to future problems as well, because plastic pollution is a result of short-term thinking, of not really evaluating the long-term effects of innovations. And plastic was itself an innovation. So what does sustainability mean to each of you? And how do you think your innovation contributes to sustainability specifically? So, Mr. Chatura, you can start.
Yes, actually, developing our microbox, we basically use agricultural waste because in Sri Lanka and in South Asian region, there is a huge amount of agricultural waste. Most of the farmers burn this agricultural waste, and some portion we use for mushroom cultivation and to produce some compost. In our case, we use this material to make our microbox. And most important thing is we no need to burn this material after usage because you can directly discard them into the environment. They automatically compost. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, if we are going to burn this material, it's again generating carbon dioxide, methane, and other gases. That's a huge problem. And this will be a sustainable solution because we no need to cut down the trees or anything because we have enough fallen leaves and paddy straws and corn husks. We can use this kind of material. So that's the sustainability I see from our innovation. And this we can use this startup as a job creating opportunity because by establishing our pilot plant, we can provide some jobs to our people, and we can establish this kind of plant within our South Asian region because Pakistan, India, we basically work with agriculture. Therefore, we can provide some good job opportunities to our people as well. Thank you.
Michelle, you're on mute. Yes.
Yes, thank you for sharing that, Mr. Satura. And that's very interesting because you're also empowering people while offering a solution to this crisis. Mr. Tasi, why don't you share how your different innovations are contributing to sustainability and what does sustainability mean to you?
Yeah, sure. Regarding, as you know, regarding the sustainability is the heart of everything, and we do an EcoPep just like in our innovation. We don't just like want to build a product; we want to build a future that lasts. And by using marble waste material like plastic and marble waste, we saving natural resources like sand, cement, and clear water. We also reducing pollution, lowering the carbon dioxide, and helping communities become more resilient to climate and economic challenges. So that's why the sustainability means meeting today needs without harming tomorrow the generations. So it's all about.
I think we lost Vishal there. I think, but definitely, I think it's very important that when we're looking at the nexus of any solutions, it's beyond one SDG. And I think it's great that we're not just looking at plastic pollution, how we're looking at employment, that Mr. Chatura mentioned, and then you're also looking at a long-term sustainability avenue as well. I think Yumna, if you can definitely tell us how the H2O Pads model work as well to bring in sustainability from multiple angles and from multiple SDGs.
So, in my opinion, sustainability means that we are changing something today and saving it for our future generation as well. So, our solution, the H2O pad, is environmentally safe, socially inclusive, and economically viable. So that makes it sustainable. Moreover, we we have rural women crafting it, so that ensures them fair livelihood opportunities. So this is how we are challenging plastic pollution as well as equity problems.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think it's very inspiring to see how the problem started with maybe combating just plastic pollution, and now we're actually transforming lives, and with the nature of the product, also transforming the planet towards a healthier, happier, and greener place. I think that's great. I think moving on to the next question, and we're going to keep this very quick. I think you have to give me three words at the top of your head. What do you think during the please hack process or the pitch when it comes to your solutions are the biggest barriers to young change innovators who come in with any solution for social change? So I think, Mr. Tosi, if you can give just top three barriers that you think that the youth has, or maybe something that you experienced, or if you want to just share any experience.
Okay, yes. We started with research with the university grant, but most of our innovators don't have such kind of funds. The basic thing is the funds because they have ideas, but we have to give some support to realize their ideas and to do some research on it. As a university student, we got that chance because we have some facilities in our laboratories and we got university grants. But most of the time now, in the school student also they have many novel ideas. But if the responsible governments can support them to provide in some small minor funds is enough to produce their uh, ideas into realistic ways. Because if they can make a prototype, at least prototype, we can see how it works and how we can develop it further. That's the best thing because if we think about a flying car, first we have to develop a small prototype. Then some company or some technician can develop it into a real one. So I think that's the basic thing. There should be a support and at least a small fund to do that.
Right, right. I think so. Mr. Tritura highlighted how funding is a big issue for young change innovators, especially when they're students and they want to experiment with ideas. There's not enough support, there's not enough funds to even build a prototype. So I think many young change makers can relate to this very closely as well. Sabu, if you want to highlight one of your biggest challenge that you see for young change innovators when they come to platforms like these.
You know, main barrier that youth or young innovator faces, I think it's the lack of resource and funding. And secondly, there are these cultural stigmas, associated with changes problems. For example, if we are going to, solve a menstrual health problem, so at the national, at the local level, it's really difficult to develop something and propagate it, or to, market it, or tell people that, okay, menstrual health is a problem. We first have to tell about the basic problems, the cultural stigma and taboos. There are a lot in South Asia, especially. So we have to get over it, and then we get to the next stage. And next stage is lack of resource and funding, and stages or platforms like Please Hack, because in our region there are really rare platforms for youth, especially. So these are two, three issues I really think are the barriers for the young innovators all across South Asia.
Yeah, I think again, support, mentorship, skill training as well when it comes to these platforms, right? So Tos, if you have anything else to add, or do you also agree with like funding being the core issue?
Sure. Regarding if we can talk about here in Pakistan, in the northern side, we have a lot of the people. They have the innovative ideas, but the main thing is they have no such kind of the platform that they can polish them, and the resources they have. They have a lot of the work regarding the environment, the plastic waste, as well as many the tech related ideas the people they have. But the main issues is regarding the platform and the resources. If they provide such kind of the platform and the resources, then definitely they can work a lot of them regarding it.
100%. I think all of these come together to how we need to have education around it. We need to have skill training. We need to have resources, platform accessibility, funding, so that at the very foundational level, once we're strong, then you give a push to the young change innovators to build what they want to. I think likewise, what do you think are the biggest wins for young change innovators when they go to such platforms? So while there are challenges, what could be a win for such startups or such projects that go to such global platforms to pitch their ideas? So, Yumna, if you want to tell, what do you think was the biggest win for H2O Pads when they went to the global stage to pitch the idea?
Okay, so the majorly the plastic pollution, because H2O pads can be reused, and they can be rewashed and reused for up to 12 months, and that saves rural women and those who are economically disadvantaged a lot of money. And secondly, the gender gap it is fulfilling. It is filling it, that's the win for us. And also the menstrual waste and the taboos surrounding the menstrual problems in Pakistan, in countries like Pakistan. So that made us just global stage, I guess.
Yeah. I think I'm very happy to see how Subur highlighted that that's a challenge as well to challenge that social stigma when you go to a global stage, and simultaneously when you went to Please Hack, you pitched H2O Air, you showed how it's bridging the gender gap, it's socio-economically empowering the women as well. So I think that's very reassuring of how we're also you know finding solutions to these challenges and everything that we're doing. So thank you, Yumna, for that. Mr. Chatur, if you want to highlight, I think what was your biggest win to the solution that you took to Please Hack?
Yes, I think during this competition we got a huge recognition in Sri Lanka as a group. So we collected several contacts from several departments in our country and some global collaboration. Then, while establishing our prototype development as a pilot plan, we have many resources now because we have access to government bodies and we have access to export market, then it's easy to establish our production line and other all the things. And we need to do some research and development on this matter. And now we have the real ideas and real persons who we should contact. I think these are the major things we got during this competition.
Wonderful. I think visibility, network, and potential for collaborations, I think these are the great outputs that even a young person is looking forward to when they go to such great platforms. Thank you, Mr. Chitura, for that. I think, Mr. Tosif, if you want to highlight what were your biggest wins, how did it contribute to maybe also scaling your solution in Pakistan?
Yeah, the biggest strength on peak of event, please high competition. It's give confidence, visibility, and expert mentorship. And the please hack doesn't give us just like the reward, the trophy. It gives a platform, a purpose, and the push to go bigger and highlight our issues regarding the problem, and then we will give the solution of them.
Yeah, I think that gap between pitching the solution, getting an action for it, and getting people together to support you in that journey. I think that is one thing that we're looking at as well. I think those were great inputs. Now we're heading towards the end of the webinar. I think thank you everyone for their inputs. But we would love to hear from Mr. Tilani. Now that you've heard from all of the young change innovators, one advice that you have, because whenever we talk about plastic pollution, such a big issue, it also gets daunting. Like everyone's it's normal and natural to maybe lose motivation midway, that maybe our solution might not help the cause because it's so big. I think what would be your advice to the young innovators coming into the space? How do they stay consistent? What would be your last encouraging words to them? Mr. Lily, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, for the young innovators, they have to keep on track and identify resources, and they have to work. If the networks are not successful, they have to seek for better networks. In terms of resources, in terms of knowledge, as well as if they want to make this innovation into a market. It means just like develop products or expand this. So they have to work on networks. Networking is the most important thing in these innovations. So each part of this process is important. So we can't say the innovation itself work, but networking and taking the innovation into the field, it means to the market, is the way we can beat the plastic pollution or we can make an impact. So both of these things are important. So we can't say one over the other. So everyone has to develop better networks. So even these kind of things are really good. So we can make, so in Sri Lankans and Pakistan and even Indian South Asian region, so we can develop networks and we can share knowledge, and the community organizations work together. So this is the best part, I think.
Yeah. I think definitely very important to get that idea out of your head, to get it into the market, test it. If one thing is not working, it's okay, test more, build your network, cross collaborate across regions as well, get the resources, access those as much as you can. So I think that was a great advice, very tangible for everyone entering the space. I think to all the young innovators as well, one thing that you would want to share to anyone who's getting into the space, it's a social chain space. There are also many narratives attached to that as well. What would be your advice now that you're into the market? You're also pitching your solutions at global platforms. Any piece of advice, any thoughts? So I think we can start with Mr. Tosif, if you want to share any words with the young innovators coming into the space.
So can you say it again?
Yeah, I think Mr. It was for Mr. Tosif. We have a question for him. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Tosif, can you hear us? Okay, I think we've lost him right now. The internet might be glitching. I think we can move to Mr. Chitura. Do you have any advice for the young innovators coming into the space? What would be your words of encouragement to them?
Yes, my advice is when you have idea, you have to work on it, because one day 1 millimeter is enough. because there is something. Therefore, if you have idea, work on it, and one day you can make that idea to a better place. That's
Yeah.
my advice.
Definitely. I think working on the idea, refining it, there will be one day when you see the impact of it. So, yeah, taking those tiny steps is very important. Sabur, if you have any advice for the young change innovators who are coming into the space.
Yeah, I think you don't wait to become an expert in the field or become the, master of the field. You can start from very, very basic thing, and then you can innovate. You can innovate at any point. You can, improvise your idea, but keep trying, you know, keep innovating is the key.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what I get from that is to start, just start. Don't wait for becoming like the guru of the
Exactly.
idea. You will eventually learn on
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yumna, if you have any piece of advice for the fellows.
I think we all should start small. Like we should not wait for the perfect moment to start it, and engage with the community, involve all the stakeholders, and also deep work with the community you are going to serve. This
Yeah.
way, we can like ensure its longevity as well.
100%. Again, to start, to stay consistent, and to engage with the community. This solution is for someone, right? The beneficiaries, go talk to them at the grassroots level, understand their problem at first hand. I think those were great advices, and I think something that will really help for any young change innovator that's coming into the space. I think, Michelle, we'd also love to hear from you as well. Any last thoughts, anything that you want to wrap up with? Any advice? What do you think of the session?
I think this was very inspirational listening to everyone, all these change makers. And yeah, I think all of us really want to do something, create impact, make change, but we're like so confused. Where do we start? So I think what I am gathering from this discussion is just start, like just work on whatever idea you have, or just join someone's idea. Because personally, I am not such an innovator, so I've joined Tayaba so I can play my part in their innovations. But yeah, I think we can all make change in our own spaces and in our own ways. So what is your one last piece of advice and what are your thoughts?
I think everyone has majorly covered everything that's so important in this space. I think exactly how give that push to your idea, bring it to market, keep it testing, and eventually you will see. Do not get hampered by the fact that maybe you're not seeing the impact right now. You will eventually see how it's transforming lives. So just stay consistent, be true to yourself, be true to the idea. And I think how Michelle, you mentioned of everyone being an innovator in their space. I think everyone's an innovator in their space. With Taiba, when we're looking at multiple solutions, everyone's playing their part. And Mr. Chatura, he's transforming an entire system of consumption around styrofoam. I think everyone's playing their part there. And then when it comes to Mr. Tosi, when he's working on different solutions, and then now it's a scale up journey as well from one to multiple solutions. I think everyone's playing a part there as well. So I think that's wonderful. With that, we'll wrap up our session. Thank you everyone for joining. It was great listening to you, to your solutions, and we wish the best of luck to all the young change innovators to take their solutions to greater heights. So yeah, we're all rooting for you. And thank you, Mr. Thilani, for being a source of encouragement and mentorship for all these young change innovators to being that push of encouragement. So that was lovely hearing from everyone else. Thank you. And we now tune out. We'll see you soon with another webinar or another tea with Taiba or another interesting session. So yeah, thank you everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you everyone
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone.